हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण।
Just give me a second, I'm sharing this. So we were discussing yesterday how it is very important that these instructions which are given by Narada Muni to Dhruva Maharaj, and especially the mantra is very important. And we are going to, that is the purpose of life, to elevate our consciousness. We discussed this also, that at the time of death, if our consciousness is pure, then we will not have any problem in leaving the body. So the pain that we experience while living the body is because of impurity in the consciousness. So this is a person is more free and very pure in consciousness. He can leave the body, and the highest, then he will not have much problems. So like we are afraid of death. Why? Because our consciousness is impure. And but when we make our consciousness pure, then we'll not be afraid of death. We are happy to live this world like that, and leave this body, and we may enter into another body. And another thing we discussed is there is forgetfulness. The forgetfulness is because we are consciously forgetting because it's a sinful life. If you if we lead a sinful life, we want to consciously forget. That's why we don't remember our past lives because they are all sinful only. Like that. And here we have seen the instruction which are given, this especially this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It is a this is a 12 syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical form of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. So this is what Narada is telling to Dhruva, you should do a deity worship. So even though he gave the instruction of Ashtanga Yoga to control the mind, but he is engaging him in devotional service only. So if we see, even Brahma was engaged in meditation, Karada Muni is engaged in meditation, and here Dhruva is also told. They are all practicing some limbs of Ashtanga Yoga because that was very easy in the previous ages to just sit and come to make the consciousness clean was very easy. Krite Dhyayato Vishnu. So in the Krite Yoga, it is Dhyayato Vishnu. And everybody was able to do it because the mind and environment, everything was favorable. But even then, that time also there is deity worship. So according to this shloka, there is deity worship. But it was ultimately the deity worship is also to meditate on the Lord only. See, what happened is in Satya Yuga, everybody, even without deity, also they can sit in the forest and meditate. And now after that, then the quality of the consciousness reduced. Then they said, okay, who will do yajnas? Whole day they were conscious about the yajna because so many activities is to their morning and evening. So they were very consciously doing, and in that way they got absorption. And when it came to Dwapara Yuga, then that was also not possible. Then they said, okay, let us have the form of the Lord directly and meditate. And how you meditate? By serving Him. So all the pastimes, if you see South Indian big temples, they're all built in Dwapara Yuga, where and the people they were able to meditate on the form of Lord because they didn't accept Him as a stone or anything. They used to go directly talk to the Lord, and they were conscious, okay, Lord is present there, we should go and do something for Him. So in that way, they were very consciously relating. And in Kali Yuga, even that also, to accept the Lord as a person in the temple is also very difficult for people. And that's why Lord does not reciprocate. Like we see so many pastimes where Lord is speaking, talking, and doing other things that were actually in Dwapar Yugas. But as Kali Yuga comes, Lord stopped talking because people don't deal with him as a person only. They deal with him as some object. Or they have very wrong conception. So Lord also said, okay, fine with me. And then what happens is, that's why and Kali Yuga, see Kali Yuga, na, people are interested in music and dance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, okay, very good. We'll have a process which by chanting and dancing you can attain perfection, because Kali Yuga people cannot do anything. Deity worship and all. It is not possible for Kali Yuga people. They are not so conscious like Dwapara Yuga people. So he said, okay, best method is chant and dance and attain perfection. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, you see devotees are singing and dancing. And so every other page you have this some pastime where singing and dancing as name. Because that is a method for Kali Yuga. That only, like, people have this tendency for singing and dancing, and they are so much into that. And Lord said, okay, okay. So here we see the deity worship is there, and that time also, and it was done. And we have discussed this purport also. Such Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that his name should be heard in every nook and corner. So Prabhupada was very heavy in this purport, especially. Yeah, why he was heavy? Because he's telling Dhruva Maharaj is a Kshatriya and he was given the mantra. So what is wrong in it? So it is, person is qualified, uh, we have to do that. And here he said the cult of Lord Chaitanya is Bhagavad Dharma, and he especially recommend Krishna Katha or cult of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. He recommends that every Indian, considering this task to be para upakar or welfare activity, take the Lord's message to other residents of the world. Other residents of the world does not refer only who are exactly like the Indian Brahmanas and Kshatriyas or other caste, who claim to be Brahmanas because they are born in the Brahmana families of Brahmanas. So the principle that only Indians and Hindus should be brought into Vaishnava cult is a mistaken idea. So Prabhupada is very clear about it. And we understand that, no, of course, we will take more purports today because there are so many important points. Prabhupada still next purport is also very important. He says, Shaila Su Chibhir Malyair Vanyair Mula Paladibi Sasatam Puram Sukair Charshet Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum. One should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, which are available in the forest, or by collecting newly grown grass, small buds, or flowers, or even the skins of trees, and if possible, by offering tulsi leaf, which are very dear to Supreme Personality Body. This is how whatever seasonal and regional fruits, that is compulsory to apply. That is one of the instructions. Otherwise, it's an offense. We have deities at home. We should regularly offer them whatever is the seasonal fruit and regional. Apart from that, you want to offer other things, that is there. But that season's fruit and that regional fruit is compulsory. It's an instruction for deity worship. And here also, Narada Muni is telling same thing, because now Prahlad will not, Dhruva is not having opportunity to, whatever is flowers, fruits, water, these are things should be offered, vegetables also to the Lord. And Prabhupada is giving nice, but it is specifically mentioned herein that Tulsi leaves are very dear to the Supreme Personality of God, and devotee should take particular care to have Tulsi leaves in every temple and center. In the Western countries, while engaged in propagating the Krishna consciousness movement, we were brought great unhappiness because we could not find Tulsi. We are very much obliged, therefore, to our disciple Srimati Govinda Dasi, because she has taken much care to grow Tulsi plants or seeds. She has been successful with the grace of Krishna. Now, Tulsi plants are growing in almost every center of our movement. Actually, only she got she could enter the books of Bhagavatam. Govindas Mataji. Prabhupada likes so much Tulsi, and because she was successful, so many devotees did so many services. Prabhupada didn't write their name in Bhagavatam, but Govindas Mataji, she um, she got a very special place. Must be very dear to Prabhupada Tulsi also. Tulsi leaves are very important in the method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the word Shaila means of the water. Of course, Dhruva Maharaj was worshipping on the bank of Yamuna. The Yamuna and Ganges are sacred, and sometimes devotees in India insist that the deity must be worshipped with water of Ganges or Yamuna. But here we understand Desha Kala to means according to time and country. In Western countries, there is no Yamuna, no river Yamuna or Ganges. Water from such sacred rivers is not available. Does this mean that the Archana worship should, for that reason, be stopped? No. Shaila refers to any water, whatever is available. But it must be very clear, it must be very clear and collected purely. So that water can be used. Other paraphernalia such as flowers, garlands, fruits, and vegetables should be collected according to the country and according to their availability. In the West, they use carnation and all for garlands. As such, they don't have any good smell. They just don't know, not much smell. But still, they are not scented flowers, but still it works. Prabhupada is telling, according to time place. Tulasi leaves are very important to satisfy the Lord. So, as far as possible, 12 leaves we should offer, double leaves. Like two together we have leaves, no? Like that, 12 that are offered every day to the deities. That is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he tells that it's like this you should offer. And it says Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship the Lord with the fruits and flowers available in the forest. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna frankly says that he accepts vegetables, fruits, flowers, etc. One should not offer Lord Vasudev anything other than that is prescribed herein by the great authorities Nardamani. One cannot offer the deity according to one's whims. Since these fruits and vegetables are available everywhere in the universe, we should observe this small point very attentively. So no violence. And he says, okay, now how to make the deities? Labdha dravyamayim archam tasya ambha adishu varchayet abhartatma munim shanto yatavan maita vanyabhuk. It is possible to worship a form of Lord made of physical elements such as earth, water, pulp, food, and metal. In the forest, one can make a form with no more than earth and water, worship him according by the observed principles. A devotee who has full control over his self should be very sober and peaceful, must be satisfied simply with eating whatever fruits and vegetables are available in the forest. So there is no much hankering, Swiggy, Zomato, ordering from Govindas. No. It won't work like that. Actually, if you know what happens in the kitchens of hotels, we will never eat in them. Such a dirty place, we cannot even imagine also how many cockroaches die, how many rats die, especially these confessioners, the outside sweets and all people go and happily purchase. The person who is making, how much sweat it comes, because we are working with so much heat around. The person who is doing all the sweat, it is going and it falls on the sweets which they are making. And the person who is happily eating the sweets, and the kitchens are so dirty, we cannot even imagine. They don't clean for months together, sometimes years also, and it does not matter for them. For them, so it's a. I have one devotee friend who works is a manager in in the hotel industry. He's like he takes care of purchases and all. He does not directly. He said, "Proja, I never eat in the hotel. It's a very famous big hotel." He says, "I will never eat because I know what happens there." He's working from past 30 years. He says, I never eat in any hotels because I know what happens in the kitchen. So some people, they just, their consciousness is dull. They say, okay, the people who are making the heat there only. But the person who is little conscious, he cannot eat in any hotels. It is not possible only. It's such a, what happens inside, if you see, we'll get nightmare only. And that's why people prefer, canned food and all these things nowadays instead of hotel. But even that also is very, they make with machines and all. But better is we purchase some fresh things and cook ourselves and eat. Only in very rare cases where there is no option, that time we can choose, but it is not at all recommended. It's very dangerous. It is actually all these things, because of that habits and all only, people become sick and they get all sorts of diseases. Otherwise, there is no possibility. And here Prabhupada is telling very clearly also that this is what Prabhupada says. It is essential for a devotee to worship the form of Lord and not only meditate upon the form within his mind with the chanting of the mantra given by the spiritual master. The worship of form must be present. The impersonalists take unnecessary trouble to meditate upon the worship of something impersonal. The path is very precarious. They are not advised to follow the impersonalist way of meditating on the worship of Lord. Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship a form made of earth and water, because in jungle, if it is not possible to have form made of metal, wood or stone, the best process to take earth, mix with water and makes a form of Lord and worship him. And the devotee should not be anxious about cooking food. Whatever is available in the forest or in the city among the fruits and vegetable group should be offered to the deity. And the devotee should be satisfied eating that. That's all. He should not be anxious to have very palatable dishes. Of course, whatever is possible, what wherever it is possible, one should offer the deities the best foods prepared with the categories of fruits, vegetables, cooked or uncooked. The important factor is that devotee should be regulated. Mita book. That is one of the good qualifications of a devotee. He's not so much interested in running here, there, satisfying his tongue, going to this hotel, that hotel. We say Govindas only. Even Govindas are also, they are not, so many Govindas have outside employees only. They are not devotees. They are not happily taking bath early in the morning, chanting their 16 rounds and coming and cooking. No, they will never do like that. They will happily watch a TV and their mobile whole night and just wake up in the morning. If possible, they will brush their teeth. I don't know that. Also, they will come and cook. That's all. So nobody cares. And what happens is cleanliness, that is not possible only any of the, because you're cooking every day and night. So only very few places that they maintain the standards. Otherwise, it is very difficult. They clean and all. Some of the temples they maintain the standards, but many of the temples they don't have that much manpower, and then they just compromise. He should not hanker to satisfy the tongue with a particular kind of foodstuffs. Jihvara lalasa iti uti dhai. Shishnodara parayana Krishna nahi pai. So if somebody is running to satisfy the tongue here and there, here and there, here and there, then what happens? Because the tongue is not controlled, then the belly is not controlled, then there is genitals, and Shishna Udara Parayana Krishna nahi pai. He will not get Krishna. You should be satisfied to eat whatever prasad is available by the grace of Lord. That's all. And our mind will be very calm eventually. Our tongue is not very much agitated. This taste. So then the mind is also very calm. We'll not have much problems with our mind. All problems with mind only. Otherwise, there is no problem. Everything is going on the way it should go. But only thing is, if mind is not good, we cannot accept that reality. That is the point. So things are going according to the way it should go. But for us, it is becoming difficult because mind don't accept it. That's all right. So we have to work with our mind, and mind will not accept if we are giving so much palatable dishes and all. Then we are caught. It is not that we should eat healthy. We should not go for so much different tastes. Healthy food is there, and we can have some varieties of taste. No, matar paneer, kadai paneer is allowed. Not that we don't eat it, but it is not that every day we eat. That's not good. And this is a very important understanding. We should be very careful with these things. My dear Dhruva, besides worshipping the deity and chanting mantras 3 times a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the personality of God in his different incarnation as exhibited by supreme will and personal potencies. So complete devotional, all Navida Bhakti is only explained, except for the first part where he is going to meditate on the Lord. Further, that because it is Satyuga, it was allowed. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Devotional service comprises 9 prescribed practices: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving, offering everything to the deity, etc. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is advised not only to meditate on the form of Lord, but to think of his transcendental pastimes in his different incarnations. Mayavada philosophers takes the incarnation of Lord to be in the same category as an ordinary living entity. This is a great mistake. The incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead is not forced to act by the material laws of nature. According to Mayavadisna, they say the Sattuguna has incarnated as the Supreme, the Lord. It is Sattuguna only manifests like that. Rajoguna manifests like all our human beings. Tamoguna manifests like animals. So that's what their understanding. So Prabhupada is telling no. The word Svecha is used here to indicate that he appears out of his supreme will. The conditioned soul is forced to accept a particular type of body according to his karma given by the laws of material nature under the direction of Supreme Lord. But when the Lord appears, he is not forced by the dictations of material nature. He appears himself. He likes by his own internal potency. Particular, he accepts body of a hog by his work. Uh, the conditions will accept the body of a dog because of his work by the superior authority. But when Krishna incarnates as boar, that is not same. He is just interested to come like that, Varahadev. So that is the point. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that he appears by his Atma Maya, internal potency. Right? Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis. So one should not mistake the appearance of Lord. So again and again, Prabhupada is saying, don't get confused about this. And then Prabhupada write nicely again, same thing. Narada advised Dhruva to meditate on the pastime of Lord, which is as good as meditating or concentrating one's mind on the form of Lord. As meditation on any form of Lord is available, so is chanting of different names of Lord, such as Hari, Govinda, Narayana. But in this age, we especially advise to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we chant the Nama, then we understand Guna, then Rupa, then Gunas and Leela. Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela. Now, here for us also, we are meditating on the Nama Rupa Guna Leela also by hearing about it. They are not coming in our Spurti directly. We don't get the form of Lord, but we meditate on the Lord, form of Lord in the form of deity, and then we hear about his qualities, we hear about his pastimes. So that is how we meditate. Because for us directly, that Spurti don't come from within. That comes at a higher stage. When we are chanting, suddenly you'll get the darshan of lotus feet of Lord one fine day. And then you start getting tears in your eyes, and then of course, before only we get tears, and then we see slowly the blur form of Lord is visible, and then the clear form, and you can see every part. And hours, the person is able to chant just seeing the form of Lord without knowing what is happening around. No No need of prasadam, no need of sleep. Just so we should also aspire for that one day. Kabe habe ho se dinama. Aparada guchi, shudana me ruchi. So without offenses, we start chanting and we also experience. So we should have that aspiration. परिचर्या भगवतो यावत्या पूर्वसेविता तामात्र हृदयेनैव prayunjanan mantra murtaye. One should follow in the footsteps of previous devotees regarding how to worship the Supreme Lord with the prescribed paraphernalia, or one should offer worship within the heart by reciting the mantra to the personality of Godhead who is non-different from the mantra. So this is Lord is not different from the mantra. It is recommended here that even if one cannot arrange to worship the form of Lord with all recommended paraphernalia, one can simply think about the form of Lord and mentally offer everything recommended in the Shastras, including flowers, chandan pulp, conch shell, umbrella, fan, and shamara. One can meditate upon offering and chant the 12 syllable mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Since the mantra of the Supreme Personality are non-different, one can worship the form of Lord with the mantra in the absence of physical paraphernalia. That means if you don't have any items, sit in front of the deity, chant, that also will be counted. The story of the Brahmana who worshipped the Lord within the mind was related in Bhakti Rasamrita. So this Brahmana, mentally he was doing all the worship. This is also called Manasa Puja. And that is done at a higher stages, because if you start doing Manas Puja, we may fall asleep also. Or suddenly if you are offering some food item to Lord, and then we start desiring to have that foodstuffs. Oh, let me offer palak paneer to the Lord. So you start preparing in the mind how you are making the palak paneer. You go to the market, you purchase. You are doing everything in the mind only. I am cutting the vegetables, I am doing it. So, and without any distraction. That means whole meditation, you are just focusing on how to make it only. You are not getting any other thought. Suddenly you are not getting, okay, let me check my mobile. Any new message came or any call came. No, 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 just meditating. So that happens when the mind is completely clean. And by doing this Manas Puja, people can achieve the same benefit of directly worshipping also. So that is the advantage. We do Manas Puja, 5 minutes finish. After that, it's difficult. And एवं कायेन मनसा वचसा च नमो मनोगतं परिचर्यमानो भगवान् भक्तिमत् परिचर्यया पुरुषाम् अम्ययिनां सम्यक् भजतां भववर्धनः श्रेयोदिष्यत् अभिमतं यद्धर्मादिषु देहिनाम्. Anyone who thus engages in the devotional service of Lord seriously and sincerely with his mind, words, and body, and who is fixed in the activities of the prescribed devotional method, is blessed by the Lord according to his desires. If a devotee desires material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation for the material world, he is awarded these results. So, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And Prabhupada read, devotional service so potent that one who renders devotional service can receive whatever he likes as a benediction. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha is easy for by doing bhakti also. But we don't want this. We want Pancham Purushartha. They are called four Purusharthas. The conditioned souls are very much attached to the material world, and thus, by performing religious rites, they want the material benefits known as dharma and artha. विरक्तश्चेन्द्रिया रतौ भक्ति योगेन भूयसे तं निर्मत्र भावेन भजेताद् विमुक्तये. If one is very serious about liberation, he must stick to the process of transcendental loving service, engaging 24 hours a day in the highest stage of ecstasy, and he must certainly be aloof from all activities of sense gratification. So this is a very important instructions. We should stick to the process of transcendental loving service 24 hours a day, and is also must certainly be aloof from activities of sense gratification, which is very difficult. Our senses, they are programmed in such a way they automatically get attracted to sense gratification. That's actually what Kumaras they ask Brahmaji. Are you created a perfect match between sense objects and the senses? How can anybody part from it? Brahma says, yeah, I know. I also don't know the answer. That's what he says. That means if you see the tongue and the taste of mango, both are perfect match. To keep a tongue separated from mango juice is very difficult. Same thing with the eyes. The form of a some form in the TV or some some different forms of a person or something is very attractive, and to the eyes. Eyes will get attracted to the forms. If it is something dirty, eyes may not okay, but no, the form is so attractive to the eyes. Eyes likes to see again and again and again that forms, and tongue is again and again wanted. If it is very 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 dirty taste or something, tongue will say, okay, I'm not interested. But the tongue is so much interested in the food items, right? That is the problem. So now to part from that enjoyment is very difficult for anybody to separate ourselves, the senses from the sense objects. And that's actually what is told. There are different stages of perfection according to different persons' objectives. Generally, people are karmis for they engage in activities of sense gratification. Above the karmis are jnanis who are trying to become liberated from material entanglement. Yogis are still more advanced because they meditate on the lotus feet of Supreme Personality. And above all of them are devotees who simply engage in the transcendental service. Now, Prabhupada writes, Dhruva Maharaj is advised that if he has no desire for sense gratification, then he should directly engage in transcendental loving service of Lord. Don't go for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That's actually the point. Generally, these two tendencies are there, karma and jnana tendency for all of us. Don't get confused with the karma yoga and jnana yoga. We have the mixture of karma and jnana in us. We should be very conscious about these things. Then only we can get rid of it. Otherwise, we always have this, Hare Prabhuji, I am doing bhakti from 20 years. Still my desires are not getting fulfilled. I didn't get this, I didn't get that. I know I didn't get even post of a temple president in any squad. And the nobody is giving me. I know they are trying to push me down and all these things. I am not getting any post in the management ladder. This is all karma tendency. And then there is another very famous is Prabhuji, nothing is generally now nothing is happening good in my life, all these things. And then second is this tendency that, oh Prabhuji, so many problems, this problem, that problem. Problems are not going only. I am doing bhakti. Why Krishna is not hearing my prayers and he is not doing, he is not reciprocating. How many years I am chanting, I am not doing any other things, but Krishna is not freeing me from these problems only, health problem, family problem, finance problem. This is a jnana tendency, right? We discussed this also. So we should be careful that bhakti is not to get rid of this pain. If we do that, then we are doing it for jnana and karma. We only want to serve Krishna. And if Krishna wants us to get rid of our pain and he want to make us something famous or anything, that is up to Krishna only. Let him decide what should happen to me. I am only interested in his service. But when we are praying, my dear Lord, my family members are sick, and because of that sickness, my whole time goes in attending to them and all. If they become good and healthy, then I can do more service to you. So good health in the family is so that we can engage in the service of Lord. Not that we can go to hotels and some no tours and here there travel because now I'm healthy, I can go and enjoy. No, no, no. We don't want to become healthy to enjoy. We want to become healthy to serve Krishna. Generally, why people are so upset is their opportunity to enjoy goes away. That's why it makes them upset. They say suddenly people are going to watch a movie, going for a they want to go for a outing and enjoy, have a party, and suddenly they get a phone call. Oh, uh, your relative is sick and you have to come and attend. You have to stay in hospital. Then they feel very sad. Oh, two reasons of sad. One is that the person is sick. Another reason of sad is they are not able to enjoy. So both the things give so much stress and pressure in this Kali Yuga for people. In previous ages, at least this is not there because people were not so much into sense gratification. They know the purpose of life is responsibility. So if you know purpose of life, like then suddenly you want to go for a party and the child became sick, then they cannot go for a party and then they feel very sad also. But if you feel that it's a responsibility, then you don't, okay, let it be. For me, the child is more important. I have to take care of the child. So party or serving, both is also okay because in both cases, you just want to go to meet the friends in the party and serve them. Then you serve at home your child. Service only, both places service. So it is not a problem. But I am going to enjoy and then this problem comes, then it is painful. And that's why nowadays the pain is increasing for the people because they don't want to take responsibility. They just want to enjoy. And that is actually what is propagated and that is what is fed from the childhood, this type of mentality. Enjoy, 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 enjoy. And you are losing something, you are missing your enjoyment. You have to enjoy every moment. While doing, you should enjoy. Before enjoy, after enjoy. And you become a dull-headed. All this consciousness is gone. Nothing is remaining. No emotions, nothing. And then person becomes an animal or a tree like that. The point is that what I want to tell is that if we are enjoying, then there is a pain. Otherwise, anyway, I told this many times. We'll come back to the part. But Prabhupada is telling that if if you are not interested in sense gratification, then he should directly engage himself in transcendental loving service of them. That is the point. The path of power, apavarga or liberation begins from the stage called moksha. You see, in this verse, the word vimuktaye for liberation is especially mentioned. If one wants to be happy within this metal world, he may aspire to go to different material planetary systems where there is higher standards and sense gratification. But real moksha or liberation is performed without any such desires. This is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with the term Anyabhilashitashmi, without desires for material sense gratification. So for a person who is still inclined for material enjoyment, material life in different stages or on different planets, the stage of revelation bhakti is not recommended. So bhakti is not, of course, even they also can do and go, but generally they cannot be serious because the activities on the path of apavarga up to the stage of dharma or the kama are meant for sense gratification. But when one comes to the stage of moksha, the impersonal revelation, the practitioner wants to merge into the existence of Supreme Lord. But that is also sense gratification. When one goes above the stage of liberation, however, he at once becomes one of the associates of the Lord to render transcendental service. This is technically called mukti. Mukti means swarupena vivasthiti. इति उक्तस्तं परिक्रम्य प्रणम्य च नृपार्भिकः ययो मधुवनं पुण्यं हरेश्चरणचर्चितम्. When Dhruva Maharaj, the son of king, was thus advised by great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, and offered him respectful obeisances. Then he started for Madhuvan, which is always imprinted with the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, which is therefore especially auspicious. So, what is this meaning of circumambulation? Very important. We do circumambulate the temple, circumambulate Tulsi Maharani. Circumambulation is what? We are indicating that you are the center of my life and I roll around your pleasure. That's all. Going around means it is Presently, what happens? The center of the house is our own material desires, and whole house and all activities are fulfilling that desires. That means center is our material desires. Now, instead of our material desires, we replace Krishna and now work for the pleasure of Krishna. So, if deity should be the center of the house, that's why. Previously, they used to have TVs, the devotees remove and they keep the altar there. That means the TV is not center. That means our material desires are not the center of our life. It is the day. So when you are circumambulating the spiritual master, you are indicating that you are the center of my life. And just follow whatever you say. Let your desire be done, not mine. So this is actually what should be the mood for us. Circumambulation is not just. I used to speculate actually when I was small child. I used to go to temple every day. In my schools, I used to take my friends also. Every day temple was like compulsory. After my school or tuitions, I used to go to temple. And I used to circumambulate. Then I used to think why I should circumambulate. I used to have my own speculations. I thought maybe because I go play cricket and then come to temple before going home. After playing cricket, wash your hands and legs, take darshan of Lord, and then go home. Then I used to think, oh, because we are so much engaged in playing and all these things, the mind will be very distracted. When we come to temple to meditate on the Lord directly is difficult. So you circumambulate 3 times so that you get your consciousness right. I don't know the word consciousness. That time I thought mind will be set right and then you can focus on Lord. So that was my speculation. But the main reason is not that focus. Main reason is that we want to indicate that, my dear Lord, you are the center of my life. Everything is revolving around you. I am just revolving around presently my desires, but I want to revolve around your desires. You are my center of life. Otherwise, sometimes wife will be center of life or children are center of life and the house is center of life. No. Sorry, my material desires are center. No, the center of life should be Krishna. This is the mistake people do. Even for devotees also, it takes long time for them to bring Krishna as center of life. Some of them fortunate, they do it very fast, but some it takes much. The center of life is their children, wife, husband. That will be center of. No, slowly, slowly, it should be Krishna. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Je dine grihete bhajana deki grihete goloko bhaya." Is this? Oh, everybody is doing bhajan at home. That means the center is Krishna for whole family. Then house is a goloka. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, right? And like that. So he says you circum and very important, spiritual master, we should worship as good as God only. Sakshat Dharitvena. We say, Are he how he will know what is happening to me? If I worship him, will it benefit me? No, no, worship, worship. You'll get same benefit. Offer everyday flower to the spiritual master. It is compulsory. Prabhupada, we should offer flower. For our Guru Maharaj, we should offer flower. Compulsory. It will have effect. They just pray to them, you'll get that strength. They are not ordinary personalities. And tapovanam gate tasmin pravishtoantapuram nihi ahi arhitarhanko rajan shukasina uvachatam. After Dhruva Maharaj entered Madhuvan forest to execute devotional service, the great sage Narada thought it was wise to go to the king to see how he was faring within the palace. When Narada Muni approached the king, received him properly, offered him obeisances, and after seated comfortably, Narada began to speak. नारद उवाच राजन् किं धायसे दीर्घं मुखेन परिशिष्यत किं वा न दृश्यते कामो धर्मो वार्तेन संयुतः. The great sage Narada inquired, My dear king, your face appears to be withering up, and you look like you have been thinking of something for a very long time. What? Why is that? Have you been hampered in following your path of religious rights, economic development, sense gratification? So Narada did not inquire from the king about his liberation, but only regarding the state management, which is meant for advancement of the three principles: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification. Since those who are engaged in such activities are not interested in liberation. So Narada did not inquire from the king about liberation. Liberation is meant for persons who have lost all interest in religious rituals, economic development, sense gratification. So now people are not interested in liberation. And this path of bhakti is a path of bhakti for people who understood that I don't want to stay in this middle world, I want to get out of it. Then only people can be serious, otherwise not possible only. Second chapter Bhagavad Gita, we should explain to people this very important concept that this is not a place where we want to enjoy, we want to go to spiritual world. This is to make them understand this concept is actually a big task. People don't accept only. They say, I am coming for Bhagavad Gita class so that I can enjoy happily in this material world. Tell me, all the, we get so many nowadays, it become popular. You know, sutras for peace from Bhagavad Gita, sutras for happiness from Bhagavad Gita. And all these things are, they want to take help of Bhagavad Gita to happily enjoy sense gratification in this world. They don't want to get out of this world. They said, you tell me how can I enjoy in this world? And if it works with Bhagavad Gita, or if it works with any other book, if it works with any other method, does not matter for me. Okay, you can give some religious sentiment. Okay, you are a Hindu, you should read Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita gives happiness. Okay, I'll try that also. I will try Vipassana, I'll try anything, but ultimately I want to happily enjoy in this material world. So that is the purpose of people coming to all these programs and all. But ultimately, we have to know that that is not the main purpose. The main purpose is to be, the main purpose is to get out of this material world. So this concept should be very nicely explained. Raja uvacha suto me bhalako brahman starineena karunatmana nirvasita pancha varshaha saha matra mahan kavi. The king replied, O best of the Brahmanas, I am very much addicted to my wife, and I have so fallen that I have abandoned all merciful behavior, even to my son, who is only 5 years old. I have banished him and his mother, even though he is a great soul and a great devotee. So even Uttanapada immediately said he is a great devotee. Mahakavi. In this verse, there are some specific words which are to be understood very carefully. Prabhupada is telling very carefully. The king said that since he was very much addicted to his wife, he had lost all his mercy. This is the result of becoming too affectionate towards women. The king had two wives. The first wife was Suniti and the second was Suruchi. He was too attached to the second wife, however, so he could not behave well with Dhruva Maharaj. That was the cause of Dhruva's leaving home to perform austerities. Although as a father, the king was affectionate towards his son, he minimized his affection for Dhruva Maharaj because he was too much addicted to second wife. You can imagine this is at Satyuga time and such a great personality is empowered by the Supreme Lord to rule. Shaktya Vesha Avatar in one level is, and then especially empowered by the Supreme Lord, and still he is also affected by this. Now he was repenting that both Dhruva Maharaj and his mother Suniti were practically banished. Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest, and since his mother was being neglected by the king, she was also therefore almost banished also. The king repents having banished his boy, for Dhruva was only 5 years old, and father should not banish his wife and children or neglect their maintenance. repentance over his neglect of both Suniti and her son. He was morose, and his face appeared withered. According to Manusmriti, one should never desert his wife and children. In a case where the wife and children are disobedient and do not follow the principles of home life, they are sometimes given up. But in case of Dhruva Maharaj, this was not applicable because Dhruva was very mannerly and obedient. However, he was a great devotee. Such a person is never to be neglected. Even so, yet the king was obliged to banish him. Now he was very sore. So here the point is that the actually there is a story also. Tamas, maybe tomorrow I'll tell about related to banishing wife. He told this one more time. I'll tell. But the point is that Dhruva Maharaj, Chanakya Pandit says actually, if a mother is very harsh, wife is very harsh speaking, and there is not much cooperation in the house between wife and mother-in-law, then the person can live to the forest. It is better to stay in the forest than in the house. That's what Chanakya Pandit says. The why? Because he's actually always getting distracted because of that. That's the reason. And nowadays, this is very common. Domestic uh, disputes, so much common. People are fed up with it. And that's why there was very easily diverse because there is no responsibility, there is no training, and people are not knowing also what to do, how to deal in the situations. Why the marriages are not working? Only one reason, because they are not trained to, they are not told that life is a responsibility. They think I need to enjoy, and this enjoyment is not working out here. Both of them want to enjoy. It is very tough actually because it will always clash with. I want to eat paratha, and he want to eat puri, and then okay, I will compromise one time and say okay, let him eat puri today. And but there will be some sort of resentment that array I didn't enjoy my thing. I didn't get my enjoyment. I didn't get my enjoyment. But if your enjoyment is okay, let my husband like this and let me please him. Let my happiness be in his pleasure. And even if husband also sing the same thing, my happiness is in the pleasure of my wife, then there is no question of any disputes and divorce. But because it's all my enjoyment, I didn't eat my paneer, I didn't eat my paratha, then there is a fight. I know there is always this, array, I'm losing my thing, I am not getting my enjoyment. No, your enjoyment is in the husband's enjoyment. And then husband also think, array, I'm not getting the way I want. No, your enjoyment is in wife's hand. This is the training that is needed. And unfortunately, it goes exactly opposite. And they think love means what it is shown. Okay, he is fulfilling my desires, that means he loves me. And he is meant to fulfill my desires. And both parties think the same thing. Love means they should fulfill my desires. No, love means to serve. If I love that person because and I want to serve him. That's the reason there was no need of any like before marriage, then talk or anything that not needed previously. Why? Because they know whoever comes, I should serve them only. That's all. Why? The girl is already trained that whoever comes as husband serve, and the boy is also told whoever comes take responsibility of that girl and serve. So it was very easy, But now it is very complicated. Anyway, in this verse there are some specific words which are to be. So king was like very very sorry for this. And because he is attached to that woman, his second wife, he he just neglected the first wife. Api an atma vane brahman masam danti arbhakam braka शान्तं शायनां शुद्धितं प्री प्रमिलान् मुखाम्बुजम् परिमलं मुखाम्बुजम्. My dear Brahmana, the face of my son was just like a lotus flower. I am thinking of his precarious condition. He is unprotected and he may be very hungry. He might have lain down somewhere in the forest, and the wolves may have attacked him to eat his body. So now Uttanapada is a very great personality. That's why Lord has empowered. He's not an ordinary person, but there will be some weaknesses for even great personalities also. That we should not that we should overlook. We have to see their great job. See, this was actually the tendency in even in the modern world till 1980s, 1990s also. That was a very that was a culture only. Like great presidents of America, they had some affairs with some other woman. No media, nobody published it because they understood that this person is doing such great responsible, they is very responsible and is doing so much great job for the country. Why should we, why should we should overlook his negative things? That's why they didn't publish it. Now, can you imagine? That will be the sensation, and it goes for weeks and weeks and months. And every media is so much interested into highlighting everybody's negativity is so much highlighted now. Such a contamination, such a great pollution. Even the newspapers they didn't write any negative about great personalities because they felt that he's doing good service to the society. So here also, when Uttanapada is doing, he was affected. That should not be taken. Okay, there is something, but he has done great job to the society, and that's why he got such a great son like Dhruv Maharaj. Who can be father of Dhruva? Should be great personalities. Who can be empowered by the Supreme Lord to rule? He is a great personality like that. He's not Shaktavish Avatar, but he is empowered by the Lord. That's clearly stated in here. They're empowered. Priyavrata is also so much empowered directly by the Lord. Not just, of course, all living entities are empowered by the Lord only, but there is a special empowerment to some personalities. Even these great demons are also empowered like that. Even like Hitler, Napoleon, all these persons who are big demons, from where the strength will come for them. That is also empowerment by Lord only. When Prahlada was asked by Hiranyakashipu, where are you getting your strength? And Dhruva says, wherever you are getting, wherever I am getting, wherever everybody is getting, it is only one person, one source of strength, that is Lord Krishna. And Hiranyakashipu was so angry. He says, she just threw him off. He says, how can you say that my strength is from my enemy? He could not digest only that fact. And then next verse is that, Allah, just see how I am. I was conquered by my wife. Just imagine my cruelty. Out of love and affection, the boy was trying to get upon my lap, but I did not receive him, nor did I pat him for a moment. Just imagine how hard-hearted I am. And the great sage Narada replied, my dear king, please do not be aggrieved about your son. So Narada want to pacify. He understood that the king is very seriously repenting. He want to pacify him. He want to reduce his pain. He is well protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although you have no actual information of his influence, his reputation is already spread all over the world. This is sometimes when we hear that great sages and devotees go to the forest and engage themselves in devoted service or meditation, we become surprised. How can one live in the forest and not be taken care by anyone? But the answer given by the great authority in Arjuna is that such persons are well protected with the personality of Godhead. Sharanagati or surrender means acceptance or firm belief that whatever the surrendered souls believe is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Body. He is never alone or unprotected. Dhruva Maharaj's affectionate father, although his young boy only for father thought his young boy only 5 years old to be in a very precarious position in the jungle. But Narada Muni assured him, "You do not have sufficient information about the influence of your son. Anyone who engages in devotional service anywhere within this universe is never unprotected." Okay, any questions and comments? We'll end here. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.